Welcome, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I'm Key, and this is our doorway. We're now in the Akashic Records Library. So let's see what's going on for you guys and all the masculine and feminine that may be taking on Leo energy. Let's see in what way are you taking on a Leo's energy. Could be in leading, something that you're leading the way in. So, your heart, Leo, is in Saturn. So you're looking at your intuition a lot more in the month of July and concerns of the majority or the maturity that brings caution regarding limits opposed. The maturity that brings caution regarding limits. A lot of times when we think of caution, it could look like a person, yes, is concerned about how they charge ahead. However, a lot of times caution comes with experience into why being caution could play a key role. Your present gift, wow, is High Priestess. So you're definitely a teacher, a student. Someone has learned a lot in their life, a lot of life lessons to know exactly how to look ahead when you may not have things in your way. When it comes to being more cautious, yes, Leos definitely like to take the lead. Yeah, you know how to take the lead. You know how to look at things in different perspectives to get a leg up on life. Now you may be looking at how to use caution as something to see as not being cowardly, but being more courageous. Because a lot of times when we're like a yellow light, in my mind's eye, spirit guides, God, Goddess, God, Gaia, your ancestors, it's like looking at a yellow light. You can see that it's telling, the yellow means to yield, right? Even if you don't drive a car, just the color itself in the given situation is saying to slow down. And some might look at the yellow like, oh, I still have time to speed up. So when some do speed up, sometimes people get into accidents or they get into circumstances that they may not be able to get out of right away. But from you, Leos, taking that initiative to say, you know what, I'm going to slow down. Even though I could take the lead, even though I could get a leg up on the situation, I'm going to leave things the way it is for a second, see how it plays out naturally before you move ahead. And you realize sometimes that is the best way, because a lot of people are expecting you to do certain things. So you're trying to do things that are unexpected, yet it shows that you are maturing. It shows that you don't always have to attack first. Sometimes looking at your prospects could be the great point. So, energetically, you're taking on water. So even though you're a fire sign, you're taking on your water element. So you're using your intuition to guide you on the things that you work for, that it has a longevity to it, whether it be you and another person, or looking at yourself from a different light. Like, again, going back to caution, a lot of times people are so used to you, Leos, playing the courage, like not playing, but you are courage off the back. That's your birthright. Yet to show that you can be cautious, people may not know that about you. So you're using that, what people may think is cowardly, you're using that as a boost up, as a something that can take you to the next level. And the reason for this is you have experienced secrets from a lot of people. Like, secrets are not bad. everyone has secrets in life. A lot of times, or things that they suppress. Sometimes there's a lot of things that people suppress or tuck to the side because they may not want to address it at that moment. Yet, in the month of July, Leos, you're seeing that being aware of people's secrets allows you to have a reason to be cautious, allows you to see or even be aware that how to act when you do see someone showing you their side, their secretive side. And people they definitely see that it makes them want to get to know you on a level that could be in the shadows, or you experience having situations where being in the shadows had a time and place, but you're now in the moment of being in the sunlight, you're the Leo. I mean, come on, you're the sun. So maybe experience that shadow side of who you are was necessary for you to see how people can show that aspect to you. Like, again, being with another person. If you're the sun, then that person may have felt to be a shadow to even balance out in the relationship. And to understand it better, you had to play a role or a character that you may not be used to, or you're used to playing it, but at different circumstances. So now you're exploring being single. Again, this could have been you had a relationship with someone and you had to move on, or see the matter for what it was at the moment and handle it smoothly. Like, it doesn't have to be like a burning, like was coming in my mind's eye, Indian burn. When you're young, wet willies or Indian burns, like taking someone and moving your hand to theirs to cause it to burn, cause their body to burn up, like a certain body part to burn up to cause them irritation. You don't want that anymore. You don't want to rub people the wrong way. You don't want people to rub you the wrong way. So in order for that to exist, you said, well, let me start anew. Let me start single and see now how to get into any new experience from novelty, but knowing how people could look at things in a naive approach. Like, in order for you to know your maturity, you have to also know when have you played a role in being naive in a situation and causing it to exist in your environment. Everyone has been naive in life. That's not a bad thing. It's just seeing how that could have played a role in how people experiment with you or exploit you, if that's making sense. However, as a single person, or even if you're with someone, your self-confidence in who you are, Leo, is no nonsense now. It's like, yeah, I like the new, but I also understand how the not so good in life was necessary. And you looking so fresh and so clean. Abundance is coming your way. You're enjoying life, and you have a successful self-employment. And that's causing you to start to see that you can embrace victory now. You understand and you see how being cautious can make any situation become successful. Again, going back to crossing the street. If you out in the street and you see that light, before it says stop, it gives you time. It's like a yellow light in a way. It's like another metaphor. You have the stop and walk. But that in between is the numbers, where they give you a countdown out it through 21, 22, where you have 22 seconds to cross that street. Now, if you only have 2 seconds and you're not even across the street, what should you do? Should you just stop and just wait until it's no cars so you can cross the street? Or do you cross the street even though you know you got 2 seconds and wing it? You're seeing that being cautious and just stopping and wait until you get that go signal or that sign in the street to let you know that there's no cars coming, that you don't have no conflicts with others, or if you do, you know how to correct them accordingly. That got you to success. If it comes to a relationship with another person, from you seeing it from a different perspective, Leos, seeing that the way you start anything, the way you can see that you have matured is by looking at the stages in which you have already came from. Again, coming from relationships that you had to learn how to use your intuition. That being the sun sometimes means that you also gotta shine light on things that may not have been seen, that was left on the side to not have sunlight on it. You had to experience both sides of yourself to understand how to recognize that in another person. So when it comes to either moving on or moving forward in a relationship, you know that, okay, I've gotten the traits to help me to understand when to stay with someone, and I understand the traits that a person must have to see how to move away from that person. Even if that means looking at yourself first to see what character did you have to play for that to present itself. Your sacred side, hold on. Wow, High Priestess again. Okay, so you definitely are tapping into your Pisces nature. You're seeing that you have not only learned a lot of lessons, but you know how to see the lessons in other and how to teach people or translate what someone could be going through to help them get over or to get by in life. Because a lot of times, Leo, people do come to you to look for the answers. And it took for you to experience having partnerships that may have felt like they tried to possess you or keep you to themselves. And in order to keep, it's like, oh my God, Lord of the Rings, the precious. Like, seeing you as just the precious is like, yes, it is an object, but this object has so much value that many people went to war for it. So you do see that you're a powerful person inside and out, but that could have caused a lot of people that you had to experience to see you as a possession than a person. And a lot of times that might have required you to stand back to first see how the person really does want to treat you before you go walking into any relationship. Like, yes, you know that the person wants you. I mean, yes, you're a Leo, lioness, they want you. But how they want you, you looked at the many scenes that or stages that person could or maybe showing their feelings towards you. One of them you experience is the King of Swords, where seeing how having situations where you were put to a certain, you weren't shown everything. Like a lot of times you may have to experience being shown a little bit of aspects. Again, you're the sun. So having someone that may have experienced a lot of shadow situations or like secretive situations, seeing that in order to have a secret, that means you gotta not show a person everything about you for them to not figure who you truly are, or vice versa. So to see the stages of how that could be created in a person. What elements is around this person? Did they have to have another person that were in the shadows even though you know them? Or is this you, Leo, where you're the main person and you know that someone wants to have another one in the shadows and keep them in a naive situation or not know what is really going on? You're starting to see now, Leo, that person still has to also suppress what they might want to speak on when it comes to you, because you're vulnerable, they're not. You know who you are. They're try to cover it up or try to keep you at bay, and you're like, okay. In order for you to understand that, you had to experience what? Having caution. Like, what creates a person to have caution in a world? And once you figured out the traits and the patterns, you're like, okay, I see that this person could be keeping me at bay because they might not want to say what's really going on in this situation in life, or that they might want to have their own options. And to have options, you got to make that room for that. It's like a pie. You're the whole pie, but sometimes people want to take you as a whole pie to themselves, or they want to take piece of you and create it like a whole pie to themselves, which makes no sense. It's like, you know this person's only getting a slice of you, but they're choosing that, and then try to create it as if it's a whole pie. Like, nah, it's not. You know the feeling of a slice of pie compared to a whole pie. So what could be the energy of this person, just in case, Leos, that you're talking to another person at this moment? It could be a water sign, Taurus, could be also Scorpio. You have Sagittarius and Virgo here. Could be a Pisces as well. And if for an air sign, maybe a Libra. That shows fire in their chart. Okay. Okay, significant other. All right. And let's see about their sacred side. Sacred side of Leo's partner. Sacred side. Sacred side. Okay. So, energy of the person that you could be talking to. They definitely experience or have the energy of wanting a family dynamic emotionally, where they want to experience that emotional connection with another in regards to building a solid relationship that both parties can love. But yet, in order for that to happen, they had to first energetically understand what would it take to have that type of experience in themselves. So maybe they had to tend to what they want in their lives, Leo, to get that type of experience with you or another, or with themselves. They experience having third-party situations. That could explain why this person could have came at a place where they were very standoffish at moments, or only give you a certain part of themselves and then stop, because they had to experience having relationships like that as well, where in order for this person to show you, they had to have that type of world. Their world had to have that experience like that. So that person could be used to celebrating with more than one person, or being that other person in another person's life. So they're not used to having commitments that are one-on-one. They probably are used to having commitments that require two other people in their life. They explored this by being that person that anybody recognize. It's like your person, Leo, could have been where anybody can approach them and feel safe with them. So yes, they showed their logical side, they're honest, and that they're impulsive and curious. That impulsiveness, again, that could explain why being consistent could have came at a cautious scenario with you. What they're going to explore is that, yes, they have 7 seeds in their environment. They may have selections, Leo. And these selections are not something that is, it could have been just starting, where they could be just like on the surface talking to people, and now it can grow into something more. But it's up to your person, Leo, if they want to pick out of the 7 relationships, having them to grow. If this is in regards to you, Leo, seeing how they've been in your life for either 7 months, 7 years, or you've known them off and on for a while, seeing why it could be something special here to grow into something more and not just the surface, like where it can be something deeper. Their sacred side. So let's do it like this. 3 of Cups, again, their sacred side is used to giving their emotions in a current situation. They could be experiencing that, or they want to have that connection with another that is unbreakable. So it can go either way. They understand that they have to make changes. They understand that they have to make changes, and if they want you, they know that they can't just always be in the shadows. They got to come to the forefront to connect with you. And if that means being vulnerable with you, so you could be vulnerable with them, so be it. If not, then they always going to have to watch you, Leo, with another person that will fulfill the place that they could have gotten with you. They definitely want to have that cup, that again, 2 of Cups. So they definitely want to have a connection with you because they're thinking the same thing too, Leo. They want to have someone that they could want the way that person wants them. And if that means changing the way they use justice, again, if they're used to having third-party situations, just having you and only you with them will require them to really look at how to be fair. What does that mean? And looking at experiences in their life to see when did they feel like things were fair with them and what was the traits, so they can actually use it to become fair in this relationship with you. Okay, so if this reading resonates with you, press the like button, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to read more in the Akashic Records 101, look in the description box below. We will see you on the other side. On the other side. Because it's definitely different sides, but we're going to see you on the other side.